the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome in here, race fans, to the New York State. It's the Weedsport Speedway here tonight for the Tagarè Property Management Pro Series, presented by the American Sim Racing Club. Race fans, we are happy to see you all out there again tonight, whether you're watching tonight, tuning in from our YouTube live feed, or over there on Facebook.com. These drivers have all logged into one of the trickiest tracks on the iRacing.com server. The Weedsport Speedway, it's a 3/8 oval up in New York, and, well, it may be known for big blocks, 358s, the World of Outlaws coming here. Well, these pro late models tonight, they are the feature attention here. A couple years back, the 1980s here at the Weedsport Speedway was a rocking time. Bands like Aerosmith, Santana, the Beach Boys, Van Halen, Alice Cooper, Foreigner, Motley Crue, maybe you heard a couple of them, maybe Def Leppard, how about Kiss, Guns N' Roses? They all played right here at the famous fairgrounds, right here at the Weedsport Speedway. Tonight, though, these American Sim Racing Club stars are the ones that are going to put on the show for you. 16 drivers have logged into the Speedway here tonight to turn some practice laps before we go to the A main feature event coming up just a little bit later on. On the docket, though, tonight, 10 lap for the heat races. We will have a last chance qualifier here tonight, and that will be 15 laps before we go 50 lap A main racing. Invert tonight has already been set. These drivers already know it. And with the race fans, you will find out here before we go to our feature event a little bit later on here tonight. Before we get ready to go racing, though, we got to also thank our sponsor, Tagarè Property Management. Founded back in 1989 and conveniently located in Fredericksburg, Virginia, the Tagarè Corporation specializes in management of homeowner associations all across Virginia. Make sure you contact your homeowners association today. With that being said, it is just about time to light the fire here tonight at the Weedsport Speedway. Heat race number 1 starting to take to the grid, and this is how your starting lineup will start for heat race number 1. Starting on the front row, driving out of Tennessee, driving car number 51. It's the Flex Motorsport 399 eSports driver. Your points leader coming into the night, Jacob Lassiter. Starting at P number 2, the Mountain Man with 00. It's going to be Doug Ungari rolling off the P number 2. The driver out of New York, just down the road from the Weedsport Speedway here, driving number 21, the RogersCars.com entry. This is Tim Rogers. Rolling off from position number 4, hailing out of Indiana, driving the Valpo number 59. This is Nathan Henry. Starting back into the 5th position here tonight, it's the Downforce Sim Racer. It's the number 93. This is Andrew Payne. Back into the 6th position, he drives car number 29 here tonight. This is going to be John Kane. Back in, starting in 7th, driving car number 23. This is Double D. This is Derek Davidson. Austin Nelson driving car number 34 out of Illinois here tonight. He will start the FR Graphics entry, shotgun to the field. 8 cars here in heat race number 1. We will go 10 laps heat race number 1. And we will transfer 3 drivers out of all the heat races here tonight. As they come by the flag stand this time, you see them doubled up. We're going around one more time here before we drop the hammer tonight in the Tagarè Property Management Pro Series tonight for the American Sim Racing Club. Right there on screen, there you see car number 51. That's the 399 eSports drivers with Jacob Lassiter. He's been Mr. Consistency all season long, and you see him out there tonight. He will lead us to the green flag here in heat race number 1. A stacked field here tonight. Anybody can win 1 through 8 here in this first heat race. I don't know about you race fans, but this is going to be an exciting one. As they come out of turn 4, the green flag is in the air, and let's go racing here at Weedsport. Great start by the race leader of Jacob Laster, but he'll jump the cushion down to turn number 1. Here comes the double zero. The Mountain Man going to rocket ship ahead down the back straightaway. Doug Ungari holds the top spot here right now as they're stacked up for the second position. It will be Ungari leading lap number 1, Jacob Lassiter and Tim Rogers. Lassiter going to slap the wall. Here comes the 93. Here comes the Pain Train. Here comes the Valpo number 59. Screaming down to the bottom side of the speedway. Car looking like it's pushing like a little bit of a dump truck down there. There's the 59 Valpo entry. Right now, though, he is being scored back into what would be P number 5. He is outside the transfer spot. Ungari running away with her here in heat race number 1. As they come around this time, they're knocking another one off the board. It'll be just 7 laps to go. Oh, big moment there. Nathan Henry off turn number 4. He'll drive it into turn number 1 very far, about 2 car lengths farther than he thought he was gonna, and right to the back of Andrew Payne's bar machine. Oh, now the 59 of Henry's gonna get a little help. Oh, turtle. Race fans, we have a turtle with 6 laps to go, and it is going to be Nathan Henry on his lead. He got a little help there, I believe, by that was the 23 of Derek Davidson, possibly, and we're going to have to go watch the replay here to exactly tell us what happened. We saw it on screen, but what really triggered and unfolded that Nathan Henry rollover there? So as the first caution flag of the evening flies as the sun starts to set here in virtual New York State, let's take a look back at the first caution flag here of the night, watching the Valpo number 59. You see Nathan Henry go down into 3, and he's going to hit the hooks there, and unfortunately, Davidson not fast enough to react, and turtles that car. That's what brings out the caution flag. Let's see if we can ride here. Ride on the rear bars, brought to us tonight here by Tagarè Property Management. This is our bar camera on board car number 59. There you see the Top Gun number 23 right into the back bars, sending over car number 59. So that'll be the first caution flag of the evening here as we're getting ready to go back racing. We have knocked a couple of them down here tonight. About 5 laps when we do go back racing. It'll be Doug Ungari out front. There you see the double zero, the man out of Montana. Recently moved out of the California state all the way to Montana. Says it's a little more quieter, a little more peaceful out there. He said the only thing bad about Montana is, well, there's just no dirt tracks out there, so the driver who's used to seeing the World of Outlaws, the All-Star Circuit of Champions, come out to the West Coast doesn't get to see them very much these days, so he lives here on the iRacing.com platform for a little bit of dirt racing on Tuesday nights. Pace truck down and in. This time Bauer dropped the hammer. There you see the green flag back into the starter's hand, and it is flying once again. It'll be 5 laps to go here, heat race number 1. Ungari with a great start, but they are stacked up back here. The 34 of Austin Nelson, was right there into the back of the 93 of Payne on the restart. Was ready to go. He's going to actually lose a spot because Double D of Davidson got by in car number 23. He'll now track down the V&H Fresh, RogersCars.com, number 93, and he'll shoot to the inside. Double D picking up another spot. He'll slide up there into P number 4. Going to stack him up on the bottom side. Little contact back there as they got 3 laps to go. So with 3 laps to go, the transfer spot right now would be your points leader. There's the 51, the Flex Motorsports driver of Lassiter. It's Lassiter, Rogers, and Ungari in reverse as the popsicle sticks are going to fly here at Weedsport in heat race number 1. Can Ungari hold on to pick up another heat race win this season? He's already snatched 2 of those heat race wins as the white flag will fly. Final trip around the speedway. Doug Ungari, Tim Rogers, Jacob Lassiter right now are your transfer cars. Final time around the speedway. Ungari out front here. Does anybody have anything on him? It'll be Doug Ungari coming out of turn number 4. It'll be Ungari, Rogers transferring into the big show here tonight. Everybody else going to have to go to a last chance qualifier. So Davidson, Payne, Nelson, Kane, and Henry all going to a last chance qualifier here tonight. So as Ungari picks up his 3rd heat race win of the season, who will join him with putting their name in the books here tonight as a heat race winner. Let's take a look here at the starting lineup for heat race number 2 tonight for the Tagarè Property Management Pro Series. It'll be the X5. This is Eric Lake driving out of Michigan. Last week's winner, hailing out of Georgia, driving the unsponsored number 45, Chandler Woodward. We'll start the number 2. And he told me not to talk about him here tonight, race fans. It's the driver of the 78J of Joel Phillips. He'll start 3rd. Mr. Brett the Jet Hahn driving car number 71 for the RHU Racing entry will roll off from P number 4. Back at P number 5, driving car number 22 here tonight, this will be Joe Nitro. And it's going to be the Dr. Pepper soda machine. It's going to be the number 25 of Nick Fleury rolling off from the 6th position. It's going to be the Northside Towing number 88, the B&C Racing 88 of Charles Darling, rolling off from P number 7. And Mr. Nickname, hailing out of Indiana, driving car number 78, Michael Guerin, will start in P number 8 here. So another 8 cars onto the field here tonight, and that means we will end with just 2 heat races, I believe, here tonight at Weedsport. So the X5 will lead us down here next time by Eric Lake. Chandler Woodward, Joel Phillips, and Brett the Jet are the 4 front runners here in this one, but will they finish in those positions? Remember, we are going to take just 3 cars out of each heat race here tonight. 20 cars will make the A main feature event. The last time I counted and took my socks off here, all drivers that did register here tonight at Weedsport will make the main show here. We will actually have to see if we will run a last chance qualifier. We'll find out right after this heat race here. So the second heat race is on the Speedway, the S&S Auto Parts X5 Scooby-Doo entry. Race1.us entry will bring us down here. Green flag in the air, 10 laps the distance. Lake is out front in turn number 1. Eric Lake out front here, and everybody chasing the S&S Auto Parts. Still looks like the track has a lot of moisture built up in it, and everybody is fighting a little bit of a tight condition. Contact for the 2nd position. Chandler Woodward into the back of Joel Phillips, and the 78J has that bad luck streak continue. There you see the 78J trying to get his car turned back around. The driver out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, trying to get that car turned around, pointed into the right direction. He should tag the back of the field here in heat race number 2. So 1 lap has been officially completed. The Bad Luck Bandit, as you see right there on the back of the 78J. Last week in the feature event, he was flipped up, turned upside down, like kind of Will Smith's world when he was back in North Philadelphia. Or South Philadelphia, wherever Will likes to be these days. Let's take a quick look back here, though, on this replay and see what happened to the 78J, that green machine. There you see the 45 go down into the corner, and oh boy, turn 3 looked good. Turn 1, the treacherous spot here gets tight. Right into the back nerf bar, sending the 78J around is the 45 of Chandler Woodward. Woodward was last week's winner, but you do see the 45 now tangled into the back of the field. Chandler Woodward will start from the shotgun position here in his heat race, as he did claim the caution, and the iRacing officials did say that he got into the back of the 78J. So Joel Phillips will not get his position back in P number 2. He will have to start back into the 7th spot. Woodward will be scored 8th. Well, who's at the front of the field? Well, it's still going to be Eric Lake in that 5X entry. To his outside now, it's going to be the 71 of Brett the Jet, and our final transfer spot, as of right now, a lot of racing left to go, though. It'll be the 25 of Nick Fleury. So as you do see it, the lights on the iRacing.com Silverado Pace Truck are off. It will make the right-hand turn out of turn number 3 and 4 here, and it will go to the safety of pit road. So we're going to fire them back off here. There we go. The green flag back into the air. Everybody will come down into turn number 1. A great start there by Nick Fleury down to the bottom side. That soda can machine will now insert himself into P number 3, but here comes the Nitro entry. The breast cancer awareness number 22. He'll fly high. Nitro going to go from right on the cusp of a transfer spot now to sitting at the tail end, the 8th position now for Joe Nitro. So as Nitro bobbles, everybody else comes away clean and green. We're going to knock another one out of the ballpark here. It'll be 6 laps to go here in heat race number 2. One driver getting up out of the groove. I believe that's the 78. The nicknamer, Michael Guerin, right now is up out of the groove, and he is actually going to fall back. And That's going to put him now 7th, one spot ahead of his teammate Joe Nitro, and Nitro going to sail it off, almost making a little contact. How about this, though? This is the battle for the transfer spot. With 5 laps to go, they're going to get 4 laps to go this time by. Here comes the 88 of Charles Darling. That's the Northside Towing.net entry. The 88 has a strong car, but here comes the 78J, Joel Phillips. Remember, he had to go all the way to the back, maybe a little bit of a hip check there. 78J of Joel Phillips drove it in real hard and just kind of made the 88 think he was going to hit him. He went up the speedway. Here comes Chandler Woodward also. You see him now screaming as we ride on board with the Tagarè Property Management onboard camera. To be 2 laps to go. Oh, a big moment there. Woodward almost into the barriers down in 3 and 4. He gets it corralled. He gets it gathered up. Battle for the race lead is not really a battle anymore. It was 2 laps ago, though, that Brett the Jet jetted around to the outside. He'll pick up the white flag here. Can Brett Hahn pick up his 2nd heat race win of the season? Right now, he has it. Then it's going to be Eric Lake and Nick Fleury. Where is Fleury? Is he under pressure? He is not. It'll be Brett the Jet picking up his 2nd heat race of the season. Eric Lake, Nick Fleury, all will transfer in. It will be Phillips, Woodward, Guerin, Darling, and Nitro going to a last chance qualifier here tonight to see if they can make the big show. So as all those drivers didn't quite qualify in, well, that means we will go to a last chance qualifier here tonight. 15 laps going to be the distance for our last chance qualifier, and this is how they will line up. Starting P number 1, it's going to be Double D. Car number 23, Derek Davidson, will grab the top spot here in the last chance qualifier. 78J of Joel Phillips, he showed a lot of promise there in his heat race. He had to come back through the field after being taken out in a transfer spot. He'll start P number 2. It's the Payne train, the number 93. Number 93 starting in P number 3 for the Downforce Sim Racing entry. And Payne will go 3rd. Chandler Woodward, the unsponsored Georgia native, last week's winner, will be here in the last chance qualifier. He'll take car 45, going in the 4th position. Austin Nilsson, the driver of that, number 34, will go for the 5th position. The nicknamer out of Indiana will go in P number 6. That's Michael Garrett. Starting at P number 7, John Kane, driving car number 29, will roll off from the 7th position. 8th will go to the 88 of Charles Darling in that Northside Towing entry. The Valpo number 59, after being turtled, he will start in the 9th position. And Joe Nitro will tag the back of the 10-car field here. 15 laps is going to be the distance here. We will run our last chance qualifier for 15 laps. So these drivers that you see out onto the speedway are going to get a little bit of extra racing seat time here tonight. See how the track is going to react. They have put a little bit moisture down onto the speedway, so they will now have to see if they can work that in here in the 15 laps. We're going to have to see a little bit of, call this a, well, just a mini feature here. 10 cars on the speedway, 2 more than we had in the heat races. Take the Silverado pace truck, make it go down pit road. Here we go. Davidson says, chase me if you can. He'll bring him to turn number 1. Contact the 78J into the side of the Double D entry. And you saw it live there. We won't even get a lap in the last chance qualifier in here before we go yellow lights on the speedway. There you see the Top Gun entry. We'll come back here and we will watch this right from the restart. Watch it high and wide. There you see Andrew Payne make contact with the inside wall too. 78J of Phillips right into the back of Double D and turned him around, and I believe everybody else was able to gather it up and keep on going, but the caution lights had already come out here from the officials. They did not like the way that start was here tonight, so they will call that one back. And see a little beating and banging right from the drop of the green flag here tonight. So that's what puts us under the caution flag for the first time here tonight. There you see the 93 of Andrew Payne. It looks like all the drivers are still trying to find where the iRacing.com pace truck is here tonight at the Weedsport Speedway. Could be a little tricky at times with the way that this pace truck comes in off of turn number 4. So all the drivers have to try and wait for the Silverado pace truck, as it actually wasn't even back to its parking spot before we had to call him back out onto the speedway. So that even throws another monkey wrench sometimes into the way that the cautions are going to fly here tonight at Weedsport. We may have to add a lap or 2 when we do get a caution flag, if we get caution flags here tonight Of course, we did talk about it early on in this show that this is a 3/8 mile, and it is one of the toughest tracks on the speedway, or toughest tracks on the schedule that we're going to go to this season. Of course, this track up at the fairgrounds in Weedsport, Canandaigua County up there. Been up in that area a time or two, just never got to the Weedsport Speedway just yet. We're getting ready to go racing, though, next time by, or actually this time by, excuse me. The lights on the iRacing.com pace truck are off, so it will be this time by. We're coming out of turn number 4 this time. It'll be the Andrew Payne entry to the inside. He hits the gas, and now let's see if we can get a lap in here tonight in the last chance qualifier. Andrew Payne will be cleared down in turn number 1. He'll be leading them as it'll be the 45 of Chandler Woodward back here. One driver dropping through, and I believe that's the 29 entry. Caution lights back-to-back here tonight. Coming onto the speedway, there you see the high side, number 29. As the caution lights come directly back on. Well, we've almost made it through turn number 1 here, the last chance qualifier. Almost, I say, because, well, I'm going to guess and I'm going to assume before we get it from the truck here that this all started down in turn number 1, and off turn number 2 is where it all kind of came to a head. Check it out here. This is what the replay is going to show us here tonight. Watch the 29 machine down here in turn number 1. And pinball, oh boy, the 59 of Henry getting into the 29 there. Also, I believe that was the 22 of Joe Nitro that was also involved. We'll take another look at it here. Let's see, that is the pink and purple number 22. There you see the 78 also involved. A little bit of a rough start here in our last chance qualifier tonight. Drivers that you wouldn't think you'd find in the last chance qualifier. Of course, Chandler Woodward, remember last week's winner, put on a heck of a driving show. Just 1 week ago down in the Keystone State, we were at the Williams Grove Speedway last week, racing in the daytime, and Chandler Woodward, after halfway, he put on the jets and he drove away from Doug Ungari last week. Seeing if he could go back-to-back. Trying to remember just off the top of my head here real quick if we have had a back-to-back feature winner this season. And I'm being told by Jimmy the stat guy over there, we have not had a back-to-back winner. So, he has a chance to do it here, but he'll have to come from a last chance qualifier to make it in. Andrew Payne says it's time to go this time. After our second caution flag of the evening. Woodward going to go way wide and high down in turn number 1. That'll be able to leave the door open. Austin Nelson down to the bottom side of the F&R Graphics number 34. Going to bobble it. Contact back behind there. I believe that was Nathan Henry and Michael Garrett coming together. See the breast cancer awareness number 78 getting passed up by the 78J. Jumping Joel Phillips, the bad luck train, trying to drive around the 78 of Michael. He'll make the pass with 11 laps to go here in the last chance qualifier tonight. Remember, all drivers out of the last chance qualifier will advance. As long as a driver turned 1 lap here in this last chance qualifier, they will have a spot in the feature event here tonight. See the number 23 of Derek Davidson trying to work his way back through the field. Has to come up slow and steady. Had to go all the way to the back. He'll try to take that Top Gun entry to the outside. See if he can make the pass down here in turn number 1. He does, and now in turn number 2, he'll have P number 7 all to himself. Andrew Payne, though, he has the lead all to himself right now with just 8 laps to go here in the last chance qualifier. Trying to see if he can take one of those Tagarè Property Management last chance qualifier plaques home with him here tonight, but Woodward and Nelson are still doing the tango back here, and that FR Graphics number 34 looks very racy here in the last chance qualifier. They probably took it back to the garage there on that Longhorn chassis and really dialed it in. Probably dialed up the Labanis to see what they could do to this Longhorn chassis tonight. 6 to go when they hit the stripe that time. Look at Chandler Woodward. He is there now officially. That's the distance. You see it on the screen. There's the 93 as the race leader. Look at Woodward go a little bit higher down in 3 and 4. As he goes high, you see the 93. He moves up a little bit. Now Woodward going to try and dive underneath for the race lead off turn number 2. They'll be dead even into 3. Woodward tried to throw a little bit of a haymaker down in 3. Not going to work as Andrew Payne stayed calm, cool, and collective under the pressure of that 45. He drives back around them as we're already back down the back straightaway here. Laps here at the Weedsport Speedway when we're turning him under pace. It's going to be 15 seconds flat just about. And it'll be 3 laps to go here for the Payne train out front. Best battle on the Speedway right here inside the top 3 because they are all together. 1, 2, and 3. Payne, Woodward, and Nelson all together here. 2 to go this time. The FR Graphics number 34 is starting to fade here. These two are putting on a clinic out front. Payne has it. Woodward would still like to have it. That's 1 spot farther, closer to the front, we should say, when we come time to start the A main. Final lap ins coming up here. Who will be the last chance qualifier? Andrew Payne has already picked up 1 last chance qualifier this season. He'll take last chance qualifier as it'll be Chandler Woodward, Austin Nilsson, Charles Darling coming out of turn number 4. A little bit of contact back there. Henry going to pick up that spot from Davidson. Phillips, Guerin, Nitro, and Kane. So Andrew Payne going to take home another checkered flag in a last chance qualifier. That'll be the second time he has taken a last chance qualifier win this season. That means it is already time to start the gridding process here tonight. So our final starting lineup here tonight at the Weedsport Speedway will look like this because it is time to go A-Main Racing. Starting on the pole, virtue of the invert here tonight, it is going to be the Dr. Pepper can machine, the R&H Racing number 25 of Nick Fleury. This outside, your points championship leader, driving car number 51 of Jacob Lassiter. The X5 there of Eric Lake will roll off from position number 3 here tonight. He started off his season very hot and it's kind of cooled here in the late runnings. Driver out of Binghamton, New York, driving car number 21, theRogersCars.com, entry is Tim Rogers. Starting back into the 5th position, he picked up a heat race win here tonight, 71 of Brett Hahn. 00, Doug Ungari also picked up his 3rd heat race win of the season. He'll roll off in the 6th position. 7th here tonight will go to Andrew Payne in car number 93. Chandler Woodward will start 8th here tonight. Austin Nilsson driving car number 34 will roll off from the 9th spot. Rounding out the top 10 of the starting spot here tonight, driving car number 88, the B&C Racing. Northside Towing, Charles Darling starts 10th. Valpo number 59 of Indiana, Nathan Henry will start back there in the 11th position. Double D, Derek Davidson will go 20th. In car number 23 in the 12th starting position. Starting 13th, it's the JEI Motorsports. Number 78J of Joel Phillips. Michael Guerin, the nickname. Number 78 out of Indiana will go 14th. 15th will go to the 22 of Joe Nitro and John King. Driving car number 29 will tag the back of the field, and everybody will actually get to come around car number 45. As Chandler Woodward race fans will tag the back of the field as he was last week's winner. He'll tag the back of the field as we get ready. Flurry to the inside of Lassiter here. Green flag in the air. 50 laps of A-Main racing action here tonight at the Weedsport Speedway is underway. One driver straight into the outside wall. It's the RogersCars.com number 21 of Tim Rogers. Went straight into turn number 1, and the car did not turn. It was a snow plow down there as we got one car around down to turn number 3. See if he can get it refired here before we go to the yellow flag here in our feature event here tonight. As Nick Fleury did lead lap number 1. Eric Lake is hot to trot in 2nd. 3rd is Brett the Jet Contact a little bit deeper into the field. The 00 of Doug Ungari and the 34 of Austin Nilsson making a little contact down there out of turn number 4. Going to crinkle up the left-hand side of that 00 of Ungari. See Ungari work down the back straightaway. He has dropped 2 spots here in the early going. T1 heat race number 1, but right now that car is trailing towards the back of the field. The 25, though, is still out front. Look at Eric Lake. He is under pressure. There's the Flex Motorsport 399 Esports. Driver out of Tennessee, Jacob Lassiter, down to the bottom side of the speedway. Look for him to be down low all night long here at Weedsport. The inside lane is something he likes to see when he comes to the speedway, and he's down there right now. Trailing in his footsteps, that's the 71. That's Brett the Jet out of Michigan down there. He is rolling the bottom side. One driver having a little problems out of turn number 4. That's the 93. Andrew Payne, as he is going to get a little help off the front nose there of the 34. Couple of them stop down here in turn 1 and 2. Couple of them getting together with 5 laps in the books here tonight. Andrew Payne turning around Austin Nelson, Charles Darling, Doug Ungari. Looks like he is also involved. Nowhere to go for the driver out of Montana. Take the look back here and see what happened to Andrew Payne. Oh, he tried to gather it up. He had a problem going into turn number 3 and out of turn number 4. It just bunches all of them up. Ungari into the back of the 34, the 34 into the back of the number 93. Look at Darling, though. Absolutely nowhere to go. Let's see if we can ride on board with Charles Darling and the Tagarè Property Management onboard camera with Big Chuck Darling. See the whole stack of down to the bottom. He had nowhere to go. He was already down there. He was committed to the low line. Just nowhere to go here tonight. The 78J also getting a little piece of that one. So that's what puts us under the first caution flag of the evening, as just like that, the officials here tonight already had it cleaned up. Everybody was able to drive away from that wreck down there in turns 1 and 2, so we will restart them as the iRacing Pace Truck lights are off. It will be the number 25 of Nick Fleury to the inside. The Race1.US entry, the X5, the S&S Auto Parts entry of Eric Lake will start to the outside. It'll be the 51 of Jacob Laster, then the 71 of Brett Hahn. Still the top 4 here tonight. Then it's the Rogers Cars number 21 and the 78J of Joel Phillips. Green flag back into the air. Here we go once again here tonight at Weedsport. Looks like a pretty good start. One driver a little bit out of shape. That's the 78 back here as he'll go. Oh boy. Everybody trying to split the 78, and that was a close one. Michael did get up into the outside wall down there in 3 and 4. Battle for the race lead this time here with 8 laps in the books. That's the Dr. Pepper number 25 out front, but the X5 would love to have the top spot here tonight. This time by to be 41 laps left here, and everybody is gaggled up here. There's the Rogers Cars number 21. There's the Flex Motorsports number 51 down to the bottom side. That's the battle for third. Then you got the 45 of Woodward. Remember, race fans, Chandler Woodward had to start shotgun to the field here tonight. He is already up 11 positions in P number 5. He had to start back there in the 16th starting spot. He is going for back-to-back wins to be the first driver ever to do it. He'll pick off Tim Rogers. That'll put Rogers back to 5th. Woodward now all the way up into the 4th position. Joel Phillips rebounding very nicely from having to start way deep into the field. Trouble down here in turn number 4. 4 cars going around. 88 of Darling, 22 of Nitro. Oh, one of them is going to take the race leader. I believe just had contact. As the 25 of Nick Fleury, I believe, was coming around, and his car looks really mangled after the contact. We'll have to see how the officials score this one. Let's see what happened down here, though. Let's watch the replay. See the 88 of Darling. Oh, he gets into the inside jersey barrier. And everybody just kept on coming around the speedway. Right on board with the 78 of Michael Garrett. So you saw what brought the caution flag up there. Still wondering about car number 25 here, though, because there's a lot of right-hand damage on the driver out of Michigan. of Nick Fleury's machine. We're going to have to see if Fleury can hang on to this car. So it'll be Nick Fleury, Eric Lake, Jacob Laster, Tim Rogers, Chandler Woodward, Brett Hahn back there in the 6th position. Ready to go here as the iRacing.com pace truck lights are off here tonight at Weedsport once again. It'll go to the safety of pit road. Second caution flag coming to an end. Here comes the Dr. Pepper entry. He'll pop the top. Here we go again. As Fleury leads us down into turn number 1. Everybody chasing him. There's the X5 entry right there on the back deck lid. Right on the bars of car number 25. A little bit of a bobble by Fleury. That time it's going to open up the bottom side of the speedway. Here comes Jacob Laster. He'll work the bottom side. Laster loves when you leave the bottom lane open. He'll go down there. He'll try and slide up in front of Nick Fleury. He'll be able to take the spot here with 15 laps in the book. First time we've had a new race leader tonight. Oh, one car going around. Rogers in the RogersCars.com, number 21, just had a moment down at turn number 1. He was pointed into the wrong direction, kept his foot in the throttle, and corralled the car. Lost a couple spots, but now he's back here. Now he'll go down to turn number 1, overshoot turn 1 just a little bit. Tagarè looks like, and Davidson maybe making a little contact also. So as Laster, your new race leader, take a peek at who is looking for second. It's the 45. It's the Wood Machine. Woodward working the bottom side of the speedway here tonight, and he is looking smooth. Here comes, though, Eric Lake. He's battling back. Eric Lake going to tag the wall down there. It's going to allow Joel Phillips to take that spot. Eric Lake struggling here in the early stages. Has some speed and then just kind of oversteps the boundaries of that X5 entry. And the Woodward really trying to throw it in, arc it into turn number 1, trying to see if he can get a good run down the back straightaway on the 25 of Nick Fleury. Not quite going to be able to do it. Try and diamond it off. A little contact there for the X5 to the back of the Joel Phillips entry. Now the 45 of Woodward will take the bid to the inside. As they come down the back straightaway, side-by-side racing. The 45 will have the spot, but the caution light's going to come on. Caution light's coming on, so Woodward going to have to give the spot back to the 25 of Nick Fleury. As the caution flag will fly here tonight. Looking at it, maybe the 93 of Andrew Payne may be involved in this one. There you see the V&H Fresh entry. Take a look. See what happens going down into turn number 1 here. Andrew Payne sends it off a little bit farther than the FR Graphics entry. He'll come to a stop, and then the 78 and then the 22. Also getting involved. Watch it here from a different angle. 34 looks like he goes down into the corner. The car looked good, and then all of a sudden Andrew Payne's there, and then I believe Joe Nitro was the final car to come into that wreck. There you see the car 22 up against the outside wall. 22 of Joe Nitro will drive it away, though, so looks like he'll be able to carry on. Show moving along very quickly here tonight as the iRacing officials already have turned off the lights on the official iRacing pace truck here. So the Silverado brought to us tonight here by the Tagarè Property Management, allowing us to borrow one of their work trucks. Lettered it up in the iRacing officials gear. And it drives off the speedway, green flag back into the air. Contact between two cars. Going to pile them up down here in turn number 1. One car on its lid. I believe that's the 23 up on his lid. Oh, no, there's the 78J. It's the Bad Luck Bandit. Let's take a look back here. What happened to Joel Phillips on this restart? Looks Looks like Phillips got a little sideways, the 71 into the back of him, and then it was on like Donkey Kong after that one. Watch on board with the Bad Luck Bandit. You hear everybody coming in, and that's just not what you want to hear when you're sitting in the driver's seat of that machine. Watch from on board with Brett the Jet. So a handful of cars collected down there. One driver off the speedway right now. Charles Darling has called it a night with car 88. Looks like Double D of Derek Davidson also has pulled it down pit road for the time being. We'll see if car number 23 can get back out there. He is on the lead lap still, because yellow flag laps do not count here tonight at the Weedsport Speedway for the Tagarè Property Management Pro Series for the American Sim Racing Club. So with the caution laps not counting, he is not being scored laps down when the field does come by him. Just burning off some fuel here tonight in these cars as we pace here at Weedsport. Pace truck does make its way off the speedway. Green flag coming back up. Laster says, here we go. It'll be Laster back around here to lead the first lap back to green flag. 26 laps to go. Nick Fleury, that damage is definitely hurting the 23 of Nick Fleury. That car has faded all the way back to the 4th position now. 25 in the books next time by. It's Laster, it's Woodward, it's Rogers. Doug Ungari trying to work his way back through the field here in car 00. Ungari working the bottom side of the speedway, trying to get a good run off turn number 4. Got that left front digging up into the air. 25 laps to go that time by at the line. Henry trying to make a bid here inside the top 5. Trying to get underneath the S&S Auto Parts number X5. As he does that, look at the battle for the race lead. All of a sudden, Chandler Woodward turned on the heat. He's going to force Laster off the bottom side, and tried to throw a little bit of a slider there. They almost made contact. 24 to go, 23 to go this time by. Battle is for the race lead as they come through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they come. A little bit of a kink in that back straightaway, but Laster going to keep it wound up and right on the lip here tonight. That Flex Motorsports driver knows how to wheel and deal these late models on the dirt here on the iRacing.com platform. There you see him, he'll pull about a half a car length down the back straightaway. Chandler Woodward drives it in, stabs the brake down in 3. Tries to run it back down. Right now, that battle has cooled. That battle cooled down, but don't talk about the ice-cold Dr. Pepper entry. Nick Fleury is having a night here tonight at Weedsport. Having the best race of his season so far here, Nick Fleury, showing you how smooth Dr. Pepper really is. And talk about smooth, every once in a while you got to switch hands because it's so darn ice cold. He switches lanes like he switches hands. Fleury back down to the bottom side, tried to slide up in front of the X5, not quite going to be able to do anything. Here comes the Valpo number 59. Nothing working down in turn number 1 for the Valpo entry. I believe he had to call timeout on that one, otherwise he was going to be into the left-hand side of that Dr. Pepper can. Jacob Laster now, the last couple of laps, I've noticed that car number 51 has started to open up a little bit of a race lead, a little bit of a gap now. It's a 2.5 seconds back to the 45 of Chandler Woodward as they work into turn number 1. Everybody else separating themselves. Ungari trying to make a move here, though. See the 00 of Ungari trying to work his way back into the 8th position if he can get past that FR Graphics number 34 of Nelson. Ungari going to go swing it a little high that time out of turn number 4. because Ungari's starting to lose ground now with 34. Everybody's just losing ground right now to car number 51. 15 laps to go here tonight at the Weedsport Speedway. Laster really drives it into turn number 1. Goes up there, hits that little bit of a berm that's up there in 1 and 2. And then rocket ships down the back straight away. 14 to go. You saw one car down to the bottom side of the speedway. That was John Kane in car number 29. He is going to hold down there. There you see the 45 of Chandler Woodward working to the outside of the speedway. He will get around the slower car there of John Kane, so that'll leave now 12 cars on the lead lap. Davidson back out there onto the speedway. Nitro and Darling have loaded up their late models. They are out of here tonight. Looking for the best battle on the speedway, Andrew Payne and Austin Nelson right now. Doug Ungari trying to follow his way back into this battle, possibly. And Phillips is back there just a little bit farther back, about 4 seconds behind this battle. 12 laps to go. Everybody now really into a big groove here. There you see the 34 trying to go to the bottom side of the speedway. Oh, the slower car to the outside there in 3 and 4 really slowed up these drivers. Made a little contact there with Andrew Payne. Payne gonna work the outside there. Look at that Longhorn chassis dig down low. 34 of Nelson picking up the spot there from Andrew Payne. Remember, Andrew Payne did pick up our LCQ number 1 here. 10 laps to go here in our main event here tonight. Race leader, we'll see 9 laps to go. He will get 8 to go because he's already halfway down the back straightaway. And if you're looking at it, you're looking at it right. You see that car right there. That's the 71 of Brett Hahn. He is back there. He is running into the 11th position. Normally don't see the 71 this far back, along with the 78J of Joel Phillips. They are, well, the way it looks, might end up going a lap down to the race leader. As Jacob Laster is right there, he is coming and setting a blistering pace. Last time by, Chandler Woodward was the fastest car on the speedway. Woodward ran a 42 to a 48 for Jacob Lassiter. 6 to go, though, for Jacob Laster. Eric Lake still locked in a battle. Here comes the Binghamton, New York driver, Tim Rogers, working the outside. You see the S&S Auto Parts, number X5, trying to maybe pinch Rogers up there to the outside down in turn number 1. Rogers goes high, wide, handsome right around the outside. He'll come back to the stripe. He'll pick up third with just 5 laps to go. This is the best battle on the speedway as Jacob Laster has opened up a little over a 1.5-second race lead, almost 2 seconds now over Woodward with 4 laps to go. Woodward then has, well, he's got a big cushion back here to these 2 drivers that are trading a little bit of paint that time. And oh, Rogers a little slow that time entering turn number 1. That'll allow the S&S Auto Parts X5 to go back down to the bottom side of the speedway. Can he slide up in front of the Rogers car's entry? Oh, a little contact there between the 2. Rogers going to make a little contact with 3 laps to go. It'll put the X5 now up into the wall, but here he comes. Eric Lake will cross back over down the back straightaway. He'll try and slide the 21. Not going to do it. He'll give him plenty of room. Popsicle sticks into the air. Jacob Laster absolutely running away. He's slowed as he's in lap traffic as these 2 continue to battle back here for the 3rd and final podium position. White flag in the air for Lassiter. He is checked out. We're going to keep it locked right here on this battle for 3rd. It's Lassiter across the line. Woodward picking up the white flag, and then Rogers and Lake. Final trip down the back straightaway. Jacob Laster coming across the start-finish line. He will win tonight's race. Laster wins the 50-lap feature event with Chandler Woodward in tow. Then it will be Tim Rogers finishing in 3rd, Eric Lake in 4th, Nick Fleury back there into the 5th position. 6th will go to Nathan Henry, Austin Nelson in 7th. 8th will go to the 00 of Doug Ungari, Andrew Payne in 9th, and Joel Phillips will round out the top 10. Brett Hahn in 11th with Double D back there into the 12th position tonight. Michael Guerin back there in position number 13. John Kane in 14th. Joe Nitro in 15th. And Charles Darling in the 16th position here tonight. Great show tonight here for the Tagarè Property Management Pro Series. There's your winner down there on the infield. We'll talk to him in just a couple of seconds. We'll be right back here on the Weedsport Speedway race fans. Don't go anywhere because your top 3 are coming up after this.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here to the Weedsport Speedway race fan. Tonight, the Tagarè Property Management Pro Series for the American Sim Racing Club hit the track for 50 laps of high horsepower racing action. Slinging a little dirt here tonight on the fairgrounds, and, well, Mr. Consistency was able to pick up the win. Chandler Woodward was very close. We're going to talk to both those drivers, and Tim Rogers had a very eventful night. I'm sure he has a lot to talk about, but let's go down trackside and talk to our feature winner here tonight. And man, it is the 51 of Jacob Lasser. Jacob, another great showing here for car 51. Weedsport, one of those tracks that everybody was unsure of, but tonight this 51 looked like it had a really hot tune-up from the drop of the green flag.
We screwed up in the heat race, and I got up in that wet stuff and let a couple cars get around me, and I thought I wasn't sure what the invert was and all that, and then I got back out and seen the invert was 6, and I thought, okay, well, that worked out pretty good, but I really want to win those heat races and set top time to get those bonus points, but, you know, it worked out good tonight, and I hated what happened to Nick. Really bad luck to, lap car sitting, or not really a lap car, but a wreck car sitting there, and leaders coming around, and we tried to get slowed down, and he turned down in front of him and couldn't miss him, and kind of ruined his race, and yeah, then after that, it was just a battle. I was just hanging on. Chandler got up on me there one time, and we got to battling pretty hard, and I hit that cushion just right over in 3 and 4 and got a pretty good run. And then I think he might have messed up going into 1 or the next corner, and I seen the relative was like a little over a second. I thought, well, I don't know what happened to him. And then I was trying to not watch the relative, and then I kept seeing him closing in. I got into lap traffic. I thought, oh, God, this is fixing to be interesting, but luckily, it was only 50 laps and not 60. I think we'd been sitting here in second place.
You talk about, if the race had gone about 10 more laps and how the outcome may have changed, but you were closing in on some very tough cars that were at the back of the field here. Hahn and Phillips and Payne, some very strong competition. How hard is it to get around the Weedsport Speedway and get around competitive cars like that when you're coming around to put them a lap down?
I mean, with those guys, man, they give you so much respect. First couple lap cars I got to, they kind of drop down and give me a lane, and I mean, that's all you can ask for. I'm not one of these that wants to speak up and say, hey, move over for me. I just hope that they see it on the relative or see it in the mirror and, give you some respect. And then when I got to those guys, they were battling for position. So it's one of them deals. If you're leading and they're battling for position, I mean, I'm not going to do anything crazy. I just get in there amongst them and try to run 2 and 3 wide, I guess, and hope you come out on the other end. And, yeah, but those guys, I mean, I knew getting to them, they had some banged up cars. I think that's why it was back there. But, I knew getting to them, they were going to run me with respect, and that's all you can ask for. It makes a lot more fun when you know who you're racing around.
Well, you were able to hang on here tonight, and you were able to stop Chandler Woodward from going back-to-back and being the first driver ever. Next week, now, you will have a chance when we do head to the Fairbury Speedway to be the first driver to go back-to-back. How do we feel from leaving this very tricky track here in New York, headed all the way out to the Midwest to the Fairbury Speedway?
I like Fairbury. We have a lot of good races at Fairbury. It seems to go to the top like a lot of races do, but sometimes that bottom middle will come in, and it just depends on how the track wears in. But I enjoy Fairbury. It's a fun track. And that way this group ran tonight, we only had a few cautions, and I think we could go to Fairbury and have one heck of a race. And I could be all starting in the back, but like I said, a little small track like that, 50 laps. I mean, I think we got a chance to do it. Just depends on how big the field is and competition. I mean, it's always tough.
Well, you did it here tonight in the Empire State. Who do you got to thank for once again parking this 51 in Victory Lane? Because you will not only leave here with the trophy, you're going to leave here continued as the points leader.
I just got to thank all the guys at 399 Esports, Brandon and Justin, for all their help. And some nights whenever they're not running, if they're on watching me run, tell me, hey, that outside's working or that bottom's working, just coaching me and helping me, man, it makes a big difference. It really does. And all the guys at Flex Motorsports. And then I got to thank John Darby with the wrap on the car, JDM Designs. Check him out on Facebook, get you hooked up. I got to thank Max Green, of course, been with me all year. And I got to thank you guys for the broadcast. You kill it every time, Roger. Enjoy listening to it. And then I got to thank Tagarè Property Management for the sponsorship and this cool deal that we get to do, and all the admins and the ones that are a part of this league, and everybody that's makes it possible for us to have a place to run. Then, of course, I got to thank the wife for taking care of the little one.
There you hear it, race fans. He's one of the smartest people on the planet right now. Of course, thanking the wife for watching the children over there. But the driver out of Tennessee, race fans, Jacob Laster, your points leader, wins another one here tonight at the Weedsport Speedway. So as he's going to celebrate his win, man, what it could have been, though, here tonight, Chandler, you passed the most cars. You got to be wore out. I mean, you're sweating, you're dripping. What more did you need, though, tonight to go back-to-back here at Weedsport?
I needed to not mess up going into that lap. I got up under Jacob and I threw it in a little bit more harder than I was before, and I just jumped in the wall. I couldn't get it off of it all the way down the back stretch. I was riding it, so I dropped back to about second, and I just couldn't really. Me and Jacob were so even, I couldn't really gain on him in time. And he caught lap traffic. I thought I was going to have a shot maybe, but he did a good job getting around them. I think maybe 10, 15 more laps. It could have been a little bit more interesting, but it was a good race. Everyone raced clean, didn't have any cautions. Overall, it was a good race.
You come here to Weedsport, and sometimes you got to question, you got to think, are the cautions going to come? Are the cautions going to come? At the end of this one, were you hoping that maybe another caution was on the horizon, maybe to bunch the field back up to give it one more shot at the back of that 51?
Oh, yeah, the last 5 laps, the only thing on my mind was praying for a caution. I didn't want anything to happen to Jacob in the lap traffic, but I just wanted a caution to make it maybe a little bit more interesting, better race, but he did great. He hit his marks. Didn't mess up there at the end. So congrats to him. It was a fun race. Coming from the back was interesting to say the least. But it was fun.
How hard was it to start shotgun on the field here tonight at Weedsport? Because before the halfway point, you were already inside the top 3.
It was a little worrisome. At the start, I was ready to wreck, basically, especially at this track. A lot of unknowns here, but we avoided one big wreck near the beginning that helped us pass a few, and then the car was good. At the beginning of the race it was really good, in the middle it was good. Towards the end, I think it evened out. Me and Jacob did, but yeah, coming from the back, it was an experience. A lot of scares, but overall fun.
Well, now next week you won't have to do that, as you weren't able to go back-to-back here at the Weedsport Speedway. Fairbury, Illinois will be the next place we go. How do we feel about the program out there at the Bull Ring?
It's a fun track. It's a good track, good racing. Not my best track, to say the least. So, might not be as fast as I've been the last 2 weeks, but I'll definitely try.
Well, congratulations on finishing on the podium here tonight, your second-place finisher. Before we let you go, is there anybody on the side of this car? I don't see anybody, but it doesn't mean they're not out there.
Yeah, my girlfriend Ella, Stings, everyone who runs the series. It's a great series. All the admins here, people who run it, make it possible. It's really fun to be a part of and to run good. Because these are very good drivers, and the run up front is amazing. Just thank everyone who makes it possible, and thank God for another day. We move on to Fairbury.
There you hear it, the driver out of Georgia, Chandler Woodward, coming home in the second position. That leaves just one driver standing by, and, well, he doesn't have a very far drive home here tonight. It's the driver out of the Downforce Sim Racing Development Program. It's the RogersCars.com 21, Tim Rogers. Rogers, you said you never got to race here, but you got to visit the track over the summer, and tonight you're able to virtually, in your home state, finish on the podium. How does that feel?
Feels great to be back up on the podium here, especially for my home dirt track. I mean, I wouldn't say this is my best track on the service, but I was just hoping for a good finish. I've had some bad luck the last couple weeks. I've been on my roof a lot. Just my goal really is just to get a clean race in and just get a good finishing spot. So I'm I'm more than happy with the finish tonight, man. I'm ecstatic right now.
You tell us that it's not one of your favorite tracks, but maybe a podium finish, a good race here, maybe bump it up just a little bit on the Bucks.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, when you're in official races here, it can be a hot mess. But when you get a good group of guys like this, it's a blast. I mean, that battle with Eric I had at the end of the race there, that was probably the most fun battle I've ever had on iRacing. Just holding him off. I know I'm slow, but gosh, I'm still sweating.
So what you're saying is it's a little bit of a fun track when you get the right group. Tell us about that. What was the mindset coming in here tonight? Because you knew it was going to be a little bit of a rough race. It could have been, but it really didn't turn out that way. Were you expecting a lot of caution flags here tonight to fly?
You know what? Believe it or not, I had a positive outlook. A lot of guys were like a little cautious coming to the track, but I'm like, I believed in the group we had, and my goal really was just get a good starting position, which I did, and then I immediately blew. You probably caught that on the broadcast, just immediately hit the wall and going into one on lap one, but somehow I was able to bounce back, and then I went to the back of the pack again, sorta. So tonight was up and down, and I'm just happy I was able to come home with a podium.
Well, I'm not going to tell you, but normally when you start the race and you go down towards what would be turn number 1, you have to actually make a left-hand turn. I'm not telling you that you didn't, but we may have caught that out of the corner of the eye. But tonight will be over. It's going to be in the books. It's going to be a great rebound. Only a handful of races left. 4 races left here. Fairbury, Lima Land, Knoxville for the showdown, and then Charlotte. Where do you think we could possibly see this RogersCars.com entry into victory lane?
I'd say out of all those tracks, Charlotte is probably my best chance. I mean, probably have the most laps there out of any iRacing track. I thought I had pretty good speed there at the last race we had, but then I wrecked fellow admin Brett Hahn, and then I just wrecked myself later on in that race. But I think I can get it done there. I mean, we got some pretty stiff competition in here otherwise, but I think Charlotte's my best shot.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing that here in a couple of weeks, November the 2nd to be exact, the season finale at the Charlotte Dirt Track. But before we let you go, because I know you got a really long ride home here tonight from Weedsport, who do you got to thank that helps you out on car number 21 to make this possible every week?
Well, first of all, I want to thank RogersCars.com. Because, at the end of the day, we ourselves, we fund our own iRacing experience, and I just wanted to represent that on my car. I buy all my equipment myself. Just want to thank all the fellow admins, Andrew, Brett, Nick, Tanner, Dave. Congrats to Dave, by the way. He's on his honeymoon. He got married, so hope he's having a good time. If he's watching, probably not. I wouldn't be watching. But just want to also thank our title sponsors, Tagarè, PepsiCo, Frito-Lay, Lukoil, all those guys for supporting the league and helping us out. Oh, and I also just want to shout out, I'm up here in Oswego, New York. I'm going to college up here, and it's Super Dirt Week. So super excited to go up to the Speedway and watch some big block modified racing.
Well, thanks for the invite, as we're just a couple hours down the road here in Pennsylvania. Who would have never thought to invite this guy? But hey, I get it. I'll remember that next time I want to go to the races. There you hear it, though. Tim Rogers out of Binghamton, New York, and this week, chilling out in the Oswego area, he will be headed to Super Dirt Week. He rounds out our podium finishers here tonight, and he said something that we just didn't get time to touch on here tonight. Of course, David Payton out there, he is, of course, or Patton, either way you want to call it. He likes Payton and Patton. He did get married over the past week, and he is on his honeymoon hanging out in the tropical islands. So we got to give a big nod out to Dave, and we hope him and his newly married wife are happy out there enjoying a nice adult beverage. We can't wait to see you come back stateside and get to hear about all the adventures you did have. So there you hear it, though, from your top 3 podium finishers, Jacob Laster, Chandler Woodward, and Tim Rogers here tonight, all rounding down the top 3 spots. Eric Lake and Nick Flory, of course, did round down the top 5 here tonight. A great run by Nick Flory, having his best finish of the season at one of the most toughest tracks that we will head to all season long. That's going to about do it, though, here from the Weedsport Speedway. Next week, we will head out west to the Illinois State. It will be Fairbury, Illinois, where we will head for our next race of the season. But for everybody with the Tagarè Property Management, everybody with the American Sim Racing Club, I'm Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show here from the Weedsport Speedway. We hope everybody stays safe, and we will see you at the races.